as well. I've been at events where I've had stations with them, I've had different past appetizers. They know their product, they know their stuff, they're worth engaging to have you come in, and a consultation takes no time and it will make you feel a lot more at ease to make it happen. So that being said, I'm actually going to leave this out and I'm going to share with Jen that's coming in. I want to bring in Jen Gullins from Peak Event Services. Jen, you ready? You smelling all that seafood?
I do. It smells amazing. How are you?
Good. Nice to see you.
Thank you for having me.
So TR just left us Whispering Angel, which is, he said Newport water, so you're going to have to help me have some of this. So.
Well, I like Newport water.
Newport water, I know. See? So Jen and I have known each other also for a very long time. Another person I'm very happy to be able to call a friend from all of our years in the event industry. And you have kind of been there now that Peak has morphed because it was Rentals Unlimited. Right?
Yes, yeah.
And had been known forever in a company that I used for a very, very long time. And Peak took over, how long has it been now?
A little over 2 years.
A little over 2 years with Peak Event Services.
Yeah.
And when Peak came in, it kind of helped you guys grow from a footprint of how big you were and how many areas you're servicing, right?
Yes.
So I'm going to have Jen give an overview of what Peak does, but I want to preface it just with this conversation that herself and her team, I want to give a shout out to Allie, who I know and I work with from the International Live Events Association. They've got so much together, and it goes back to what I was saying about TR, about ask the questions. Everything that you're going to hear on this thing is about how to get you educated to ask these questions to make sure that everything you do looks outstanding and amazing. She's been in the event industry for a very long time. She knows her stuff like the back of her hand. I've called her with questions that I still don't know the answers to on some things. So, and you were a former president, past president, just last year for the International Live Events Association Rhode Island chapter, and she's about to join what we call the Dead President Society. So that's all of us that have been past presidents. So we've worked together closely, and again, I can't highlight enough about how well she knows her things. But give us kind of a verbal overview of what Peak has, because I think a lot of people don't understand the vast amount of things that they have opportunity to use.
At Peak Event Services, we have just about any rental need that a person might have. We can fill anything from tents to dance floors to stages, all of your china, flatware, glassware needs. We have a custom fabrication department. We have soft seating for lounge furniture, both indoor and outdoor. And we also have extensive services in the way of production and orchestration for large, complicated events, as well as design services to help people pull all of the details together.
So I'm gonna, and when she talks about tables and chairs, it's everything from your standard garden chair to a 6-foot rectangular table, all the things that you consider your basic needs when you're having it. And I can tell you, just from the amount of parties that I attend around my house, the people that are ordering these things on a regular basis, because you don't own them. They're not things that you would normally have there. Even having extra china, even having extra glasses, and it's last minute things that often you don't want to miss to worry about. But you mentioned the decor side of things.
Yes.
And I want to kind of highlight this because it's been a trend that's evolved. There used to be just that you would call a planner and they would go source all the decor for you and you never knew where it came from or if they bought it or owned it. But the style, and I tried to post really good pictures on social media. You had a spring shoot that I posted that was really, really spring colors, one of the pictures I put up today, to kind of highlight the amount of items that you have and how to pull all that together. What are some, if you think about that, for explaining, what are some of the things that are available for people?
You know, when you're talking about decor, it really begins with what is the theme of the event and really understanding what you're looking for the outcome of the event to be. Some clients, whether they might be a planner or a caterer or even an individual homeowner who's planning an extravagant party in their yard, they might look for a little guidance on how they make their vision work.
Right.
And at Peak Event Services, we have thoroughly trained staff, all with an eye for trend and style, and they can help you to really dive deep into what your passion and vision is for your event and pull products that complement. Things like candelabras or even lanterns to decorate. We have hedge walls if you're looking to make a really interesting backdrop, or barnwood walls. You know, as you know, in the events industry, you can create anything anywhere.
and I think it ties into who you're catering. So if you're doing, you know, something with TR that you're doing a lobster or a clam bake, you've got gorgeous farm tables, things that are out there. And people are like, someone made a comment to me on, is that something that was there when they went to the space and did it, or was it theirs? It was theirs. It's very hard to find these type of things that are out there. That you can just physically own and have. So from farm tables to being able to do it, someone else mentioned to me in the questions, you know, they look like a garden party, one of the pictures that I put up. And for you guys, you mentioned the hedge wall, to be able to
Yes,
put that up and do
exactly.
that. So all
Exactly.
these avenues of things that are there, and I'm finding, and I think a lot of people in the industry are finding now, that people are theming out even a graduation party, you know.
It's all about the experience.
Right.
It absolutely is. And to Rick's point, garden parties, Cirque du Soleil themed events. We do Harry Potter themed events.
Right, yeah.
People really want to create an experience that wows their guest when they walk in. And it could even just be a small focal piece of a dessert station or a food station that they want to draw a lot of attraction to. And adding rental elements into that can really elevate the visual on it.
Right, and there's, from a visual perspective, is that I think the book, was it a lookbook, is that what the name was?
Yes.
I went
Yep.
on there, and I thought that was fantastic because in my mind, and I always tell people that Pinterest is great for specific things, but I feel when you're planning an event, you really need to look at what somebody has that can help you execute what you think your look's going to be. This lookbook, to me, was the answer to it. I don't know who did the shots or who put that together for you guys, but I thought it was a fantastic way to give yourself a visual experience. It was literally like flipping the pages on your website. It was great.
Exactly.
It was great.
And we have them for seasons. We have them for different, styles or expressions that people are looking for, whether it be a romantic wedding or maybe it is, a large-scale corporate gala or nonprofit gala. There's so much out there.
Right, and from an education standpoint, and going back to this, aside from the corporate side of things, so if you're a personal person, you're going to throw this big party in your yard for an 50th anniversary party or your son's graduation from college, what's the process? What would you recommend that people know? Because a lot of people just get frightened. They get scared about, I don't know where to begin, how to start.
Sure.
What's the process, and what are the best things that you give people tips that they should look for or talk to your team about?
When we start talking to people about, in regards to, say, an individual, about hosting an event maybe at their home, the first place to start is to really discuss the tenting needs. We are in New England. We always recommend coverage, whether it be, a really hot July or August day where you might need shade or whether it might rain. Either way, you're going to need coverage. So that's sort of one place to start. It's always best to ask a professional to come out and take some measurements of the property. With tenting, there's a number of nuances regarding permitting and safety issues that
All
you
over the
really
state.
have to be concerned about. So we like to be able to send out one of our professional team members to come in and really measure out the property. And from there, it can be a collaboration with the various vendors. Someone like McGrath's Catering might be coming in to do a clam bake, and they'll have specific needs that will want to be met in terms of what size platters are they going to use, and shall it be family style, and so on. And that can help sort of direct the theme of the event. And then from there, you have to talk about the experience. Right. Is it rustic? Would they like farm tables? And presenting some ideas that will meet their needs for their visual requirements. We can help people with mapping out budgeting, and really understand how to achieve what they're looking for in the right ways.
So she mentioned the word achieve and she mentioned the word budgeting, two very good buzzwords in that sentence to kind of educate people, because that's where I think a lot of us kind of get confused on that, is that you have to kind of measure out your expectations of what you're looking for and then sit down with someone like yourself or your team to go through and say, okay, this is what the reality is of what something costs and how you can make it happen and how you can be flexible, because what you set out to achieve might be a little bit different by the time you get to the end of it.
Exactly. The visuals that we all see online, there's so much out there that catches our eye and to look at, but like anything, things come in different price ranges. And I always kind of joke and say that planning a party is like buying a house.
It's true.
What kind of house are you in the market for?
Right. That's a good point. That's a very good point.
Because we can find the right needs. We can fit your needs within the right budget. It's just a matter of having those candid conversations too.
So you've seen, you and I have been both doing this for a long time, and you've seen a lot of things that have evolved from trends to challenges that are out there. What are some of the latest trends or the latest things that you've seen that come out that people have not experienced yet?
Some of the latest trends that we're seeing evolve, introduced a few years ago were the farm table craze, which is still really popular. That has kind of morphed into linenless dining tables of all different stains, different styles. We offer several different options in linenless dining tables. Some of the other ideas that people are looking for are really interesting seating options. some people have utilitarian needs where they need to seat X amount of chairs at a table and they might only have so many options, whereas some are looking for some really interesting dining seating options, something that they might have at their own dining table.
Right.
We actually just brought in a fabulous new chair, the Chameleon Chair, and we offer it in both gold and silver. And this chair as a standalone dining chair is gorgeous and comfortable and seats well at a table, but it also has the ability to dress it up and accessorize it with chair backs and coverings of all different kinds. There's over 250 options in coverings of this chair.
Really?
Yeah, it's really phenomenal. So
250?
Yeah, and we are the exclusive provider of it here in our region. So
That's awesome.
if you're really looking for an interesting chair option, that's a great.
It's called Chameleon.
Chameleon.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's a cool name.
Because it can,
250 I was going to say,
exactly, it can
250
change
options.
style.
That's definitely a chameleon for you.
Yeah. We also find that people are looking for alternative seating at events, and you've probably seen this, right? Lots of lounge seating, different styles of dining where there might be a dining table, but it might be paired with banquettes as instead of individual seats. So we offer a lot of options in soft seating, whether it be ottomans or banquettes and sofas. We also offer really extensive design services to style those sofas. So if you would like to think about a fully styled living room, if you were to walk into someone's home and experience their fully styled living room, they might have the perfect pillows and they might have, the perfectly placed.
Makes you envious.
Exactly. So we can come in and do that with your event. We can come in and stage your event so that it really has those extra touches.
So two other kind of points that go along with that is that what would you advise? And a lot of people watching I know are people that are not professionals, haven't done this before, and may have a big special occasion that's coming up. From a time frame standpoint, there really is not that many months where it's quiet anymore from an event industry standpoint. I mean, we look at some months in the winter, but other than that, from now till October, you guys are jamming. You just had all the graduation seasons. Now you go into wedding season, and then people's parties at their homes. But from a time frame standpoint, when someone's looking to do this, is there a window that you tell them they really should start to prepare and bring all this information together?
Being in the event industry, we could help someone pull together an extensive event in 3 to 4 weeks if we had to.
Right.
So it really could be short term with the right amount of help. Certainly with any event, it's always polite to send out your invitations within a certain time. So really, whatever that invitation time frame is, you can kind of pull things together. If you're looking to host an event in your backyard, you'll want to do that about 30 days out at least. Due to permitting issues, you've got to obviously submit for permitting from the towns, and that takes about 30 days. So there are some restraints there when you start thinking about those things. I would say the average time frame for planning these types of details, 2 to 3 months for most people.
Okay. Which is a reasonable time to think about it.
Yeah.
It also allows you time to get your budgets and such in order.
Exactly.
Now, I mentioned that Jen's past and how long she's been in the business, and also her affiliation with the International Live Events Association. I think one of the things that's also comforting from that position is that your team has a great familiarity with vendors, not just in Rhode Island, but throughout New England.
Yes.
That you do. And being a part of ILEA, you've got connections that go above and beyond that throughout the world to that point. So in mentioning, she's mentioned about permits and requirements and things that are out there that you always want to make sure you take care of, is that I think knowing that you guys have got that familiarity, it helps, because there isn't anybody that I haven't seen you guys have the ability to work with and cross paths to come together on.
Yeah. In our industry, it's incredibly important to be out there and be part of these industry organizations that can help grow your professional networking, but also help you grow from an educational standpoint. Yeah. We learn so much from all of the partners that we work with every day, and they teach us so much about what trends they're seeing in the marketplace and how we can better serve the clients.
Yeah.
Whether it be an event planner or a caterer, they're bringing ideas back from their clients as well, and exposing us to that, which is always wonderful, and we welcome that.
And so a big key, don't hesitate to ask the questions. I mean, when you're looking visually and you've got these great plans and great ideas, don't hesitate to ask, because they're going to tell you how you can execute it, who you can work with if it's not them, and how to make it all come together. So,
exactly.
Jen, thanks for making the time today. Cheers to you.
Thank
Have a little bit of some of
you.
the Newport water here.
Cheers.
We'll go out there and finish that. Glad to hear everybody.
Fabulous.
But thank you very much. Glad you
Thank
came in.
you.
Good to see you. All right. So, more tips, more trends that we got. Now we're going to switch back to the catering side of things a little bit and bring in Chef Matt from Emory's Catering. We wanted to try to highlight two different styles of two different things. Where TR concentrates on a lot, Chef Matt here concentrates on the other styles. Oh boy, more drinks. I'm liking this drink part of this whole thing here. Hey, Chef.
How are you?
Good to see you. Thanks.